Now, we all know at this stage that sleep is fundamental to our good health, but when our busy lives take over, hitting the hay can be a challenge for some of us, and with 45% of Irish people not getting enough sleep.
That's a shocking statistic, actually. Where are we going wrong and what can we do to help? Well, nutritional therapist Heather Leeson joins us this morning to share her advice. Good morning to you, Heather.
Good
morning.
love
talking about sleep on
We
the show.
love
because we don't
talking
get
about
enough.
sleep.
But 45% of the adult population not getting enough is pretty mad. Is that because, do you think, of COVID and the pandemic?
Well, I think it's got worse since COVID because, of course, stress plays a massive role in sleep issues. It's different for everyone, but calming your mind down is really helpful in getting a good night's sleep. And look, we know how important it is. We're always reading about how important it is, particularly now in terms of stress management, in terms of resilience, even in terms of immune health. Getting enough sleep is so important for
How
us.
much sleep should we be getting a night? Should we be getting?
Yeah.
A difference to what we are getting, but what should we be getting?
So it's different for everyone, but the World Health Organization recommends 7 to 9 hours. So if you use 8 as an average, now we know most people are not getting that. And it's not all about quantity, it's about quality as well. And I think you can kind of recognise if you have a terrible night's sleep, you don't feel great and you're not at your best the next day. But I think what a lot of us are missing is the chipping away gradually. So a little bit to little sleep every night. That actually has a long-term effect on us.
Is it because we're not going into that, what they say, the REM sleep, that real deep sleep?
Yeah, so that's the quality of sleep. And actually, there's lots of things that we can do to support that quality of sleep as well. Even if we're not getting the hours, we can work on the quality as well.
What's your opinion on napping? Because I'm a great napper. If I don't get my hours at night, I will try and get an hour during the day or even up to 40 minutes. Do you think napping can help?
It can definitely help. Now, the research on napping is a little bit mixed, and I think it normally says that you need to keep the naps fairly small, because if you have too long a nap, so maybe more than 40 minutes, then you're going to disrupt your sleep in the night.
Yeah.
But again,
just having a look, as you brought in some suggestions today at how we can change our sleeping habits. On average, how long would it take somebody to change their sleeping habits? So we've established we're not getting enough sleep. We want to change. It's not going to happen overnight, though, is it?
No, it is not going to happen overnight. And I suppose you're looking at the low-hanging fruit. So there are some sleep stealers that we should all be aware of, like, for example, mobile phones, blue light devices before bed, an hour before bed.
Have a cold room, like your phone off, no TV for at least 40 minutes before you intend to go to sleep.
Blue light inhibits melatonin production, melatonin being our sleep hormone, and also strenuous exercise right before bed. So in 2 hours before bed, you want to keep that to a limit. And then in terms of things like alcohol, so this idea of a nightcap, actually it's alcohol's sedative effect is not very helpful. It wears off and it interrupts our sleep quality.
So is it a thing like you might have a glass of wine with dinner and that might help you to doze off, but then when that wears off, you tend to wake up?
Yeah,
or your sleep is interrupted.
Up to 30% it's damaging your sleep quality up to 30%. So really watch it. If you're not a good sleeper, I would say take a break from alcohol for a while. And then the other one that we all know, caffeine. Again, some people are very, very sensitive to caffeine, but it affects all of us.
I have friends who have a couple of cups of coffee at night and then conk out no problem.
Really?
And I wouldn't be able to do it all.
See, I have decaffeinated tea at home, so like from
4 o'clock,
5 o'clock, I'd only drink decaffeinated tea.
Yeah, and I think important to bear in mind with caffeine, it has a half-life of 6 hours. So if you have a cup of coffee at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, half of that caffeine is still in your system at 10 at night. So I would say, again, if you're not a good sleeper, avoid caffeine. It's not just in coffee, also in energy drinks, also in tea actually is half the amount of caffeine. Now, tea is not all bad because tea does include this amino acid called L-theanine, which is lovely and relaxing. Clinical studies have shown that it helps sleep, and that's particularly in green tea.
Green and the herbal teas, and you can get the tea. What's the one at night time?
Yeah. So I mean, there's lots of different options. In terms of the green tea L-theanine, you just need to watch your caffeine content. So a couple of cups of green tea earlier in the day, or you take a supplement. There's a lovely product from a Galway-based company called Macanta that has L-theanine and L-ornithine in it. And they're both relaxing amino acids. So taking that, taking 1 or 2 of those capsules, maybe half an hour before bed, that can be really helpful.
Just looking at these natural remedies, and you've got some more suggestions for us as well, would these be suitable for people with insomnia? And that, by me, I mean people with long-term sleeping problems.
So some of the herbal remedies are helpful for long-term sleeping problems. And it's just about trying to establish a slightly healthier sleep routine. And like you said, it's not going to happen overnight. You're just trying to make slight changes. And one thing that can be really helpful with long-term sleep issues is magnesium. So we know that it has been proven again in clinical studies to help with sleep, to help relaxation, to help calm your mind before you get to sleep.
Your brain whirring at night.
Exactly.
How much magnesium would you take then? I'm on magnesium from today, so...
You can get it in food, like nuts.
Oh, okay.
A portion of nuts will give you a quarter of the NRV of magnesium. Things like whole grains, things like pulses, but magnesium supplements can be really beneficial.
See, I take sleeping tablets, especially when I'm on this shift sometimes. Now, I wouldn't do it at weekends and stuff like that. So for me, who's somebody who's on sleeping tablets and have taken sleeping tablets for a while, and I know I should be off them, is this much harder for me now to come to these natural things to get that good night's sleep?
Well, you do have to be a little bit careful about interactions, especially with some of the herbal products, and maybe talk to your doctor. But you can introduce something like, you can eat more magnesium-rich foods, but you can certainly introduce a magnesium supplement. Now, there are tons out there. And the one that I like for sleep is called PrizeMag Magnesium Bisglycinate, and that's a very safe product. We know 50% of the population are not getting enough magnesium in their diet. And that, because it's bound to glycine, it is very easily absorbed, and glycine also has some relaxing properties. And you take, if you're busy during the day or you feel your mind is racing during the day, you can take 3 throughout the day, or you take it in the evening. It also comes
So it won't
in
make you sleepy if you're taking it in the afternoon?
Pardon me?
It won't make you sleepy?
No, it's just helping you to relax.
Okay.
And you can get melatonin tablets as well.
Now, melatonin is a hormone, so that's prescription only. So that's a conversation with your GP.
Oh, I've had it.
Yeah. And again, the big thing is different things will work for different people. Now, the magnesium you can get in Horans in any of the 14 Horans stores in Ireland. But if you talk about botanicals, Alan, you've mentioned those before, what we call herbal products. Now, you start the entry level is your herbal tea, you know, your chamomile tea, often they're blends of things like hops and lemon balm. They can be really nice and they're relaxing anyway. It's about a relaxing evening routine, and they will help hydration, which is again a road blocker
like
to
introducing
melatonin.
a new ritual to your evening routine.
So
the nice cup of lemon tea where you'd normally have a coffee or
exactly.
Or
so you're winding down in the evening, you're getting off your devices, you're having a nice relaxing cup of herbal tea, maybe a warm
my husband would have a chamomile tea in the evening.
And so it's just part of the routine, and that's very safe. You know that anybody can have that.
And what other remedies have you got here, Heather? And just can I ask for people who might be shopping online, what do people need to be mindful of, just in terms of the ingredients being safe and so on?
Yes. So I would say if you're not sure, go into, for example, Horans, talk to the staff in there or talk to your local health food store. But magnesium is very safe.
When you go into a store like that, they are so up on it, aren't they? They know.
100%.
So professional.
Yeah, so professional.
So magnesium, really, really safe. Actually, all of these are obviously very safe. But also there's a batch rescue night spray that is a lovely one, suitable for all the family. It doesn't have any alcohol in it. That's made from flower essences, including white chestnut, which is lovely and calming. 2 sprays on your tongue.
Is that the rescue remedy you would have been given before your leaving cert?
Exactly.
Years ago.
So it's an
You'd have a bottle.
a sleep version of that, and it comes in a few different formats. So it's really nice and relaxing. And then, of course, the slightly stronger ones where you might want to look at interactions with sleep medication, that's valerian. It's been used for thousands of years. Sounds like something Harry Potter would be cooking up, but it's actually got fantastic research behind it. A big study last year showed that it is really helpful for sleep and safe for long-term use. It has very few side effects. Now, there's a couple of products that I like with valerian. One of them is called Vogel's Dormeasan. So that's freshly harvested organic hops and valerian. And you put that in 30 minutes before bed, 30 drops in a little bit of water or a little bit of juice. It's got a little bit of a bitter taste because it's fresh herbs, and that can be nice and calming. And that's what valerian is doing. It's calming things down. And then another product which I really like is an Irish herbal product formulated by a herbalist in Donegal called David Foley. And that is called Irish Botanica Peace and Calm. That's valerian with orange and lemon drops. So it has a lovely, pleasant taste, lovely warming flavour when you drink it. Now, it's a herbal remedy. It's a herbal medical product.
Heather, you have chocolate there.
I do.
We eat chocolate and it'll help us go to sleep.
The chocolate is
it dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate, good source of magnesium.
Great.
Yeah, but it has caffeine in it too. And some people who are really sensitive to caffeine, having a little bit of dark chocolate will upset them. Now, look, there's easier ways.
In it, or dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate has caffeine in it. There's easier ways to get your magnesium.
Heather, thank you so
Laura.
much for all of that
pleasure.
today. Some brilliant information in there.
So you can get any of these online from horonshealth.ie.
Are you feeling inspired, Al?
I'm going to try maybe the strongest ones.
The one at the end. One of those for Alan. Heather,
I
thanks
look forward to hearing how you get
Now,
on.
just a reminder, if you have long-standing sleep issues and you are taking medication which could interact with herbal medications that we have here this morning, you should seek professional help before trying any of the products.